So please let me introduce our seventh presenter, Federico Tomasetto, and he will be talking about breaking the wall of classical biocontrol breakdown.
Welcome, kia ora, and buongiorno, everyone. This presentation starts with a video showing you a crime scene. It's actually every day in our labs. A natural enemy, a wasp in this case, is trying to find its prey, to lay its eggs inside the victim, in this case is a weevil, in order to reproduce itself. These predator-prey interactions happens all the time in nature and is worldwide known as biological control, which is actually different from classical biological control. This latter happens when humans introduce this murderer, this killer, to control and kill actually the prey or the pest in our cases. This is one of the scientific approach that is possible, known as a sustainable ecosystem services. And in this case, it is used to put aside the use of chemical pesticides in agriculture. But you know the statement when someone says before the word but really counts? This is not happening in New Zealand pasture ecosystems. In fact, there are evidences that there has been a decline in the biocontrol of a ryegrass pest, as you can see from the maps showing you the control levels with the green colors that were in the past, and now the decline with the uncontrolled stages. There are evidences, and more advancing evidences, that there has been an evolution of resistance by the pest, in this case, to its introduced predators, its biological control agent. And it's like bacteria becoming resistant to antibiotics. This is certainly the first time that this case of decline over only 25 years has been observed in classical biological control. But New Zealand ecosystems are also like nowhere else. So we have been investigating this decline over the last 4 years, but we didn't find a proof of a unique mechanism yet. However, we are working towards a fully understanding of this decline using molecular and behavioral analysis. So how do we break the wall of decline in biocontrol programs? We are advancing innovative approaches, like, for example, using new grasses, which we found has a role in the decline of biocontrol programs, to increase the plant biodiversity. And also, we are advancing hypotheses of the roles, as it shows here in the graphs showing you the community interaction in the pasture in New Zealand, using stable isotopes. So which altogether, with the plant biodiversity increase and the native biodiversity function, will enhance and exert the classical biocontrol program. Thank you.
Thank you, Federico. Questions or comments, please? Over here.
What sort of economic or other sort of environmental, social benefit have you looked into through this being successful, and how long do you think that might take?
Sustainable ecosystem services like the classical biological control programs are actually a situation in which you help the farming system in this case to not use the pesticides or not resown the grass types in the grass plant in the pasture. And for example, the pest I was showing you in New Zealand makes up to $160 million of damage per year, and that is costing related to the loss of biomass, so the production of the milk in this case. So those consequences are also considered in these programs as well. Thank you.
Question from the top.
Yep. I do work in agriculture, so when we tried this in the field, we realized that because the insects themselves are seasonal, we realized that the predators insect that we use also dies out with them. So it's a recurrent cost for farmers to apply this again each season. So how do you deal with that?
Well, there are situations like in this case, which if you find the interaction between the predator-prey that is stable over the year, then actually the interaction goes over and over and over all the time. In this case, for example, the decline is because the prey has found its way to avoid the predator, to avoid the natural enemy. But the numbers are still, altogether, the population are quite high, so as a density. Thank you.
Good. I think we proceed. So let me thank Federico.
Thank you.